Welcome to the profound knowledge of non-duality. To most of us, we've never even heard of the concept. And the reason is because it's just not here in the Western Hemisphere. It's not until we bridge ourselves into the East to where this profound transformative knowledge comes into view. In fact, it's so profound that I utilize what we would consider the most brilliant minds in history as, as credible evidence that this knowledge exists and has tremendous value. These geniuses are the quantum physicists that we pedestalize, right? This is the Albert Einsteins, the Robert Oppenheimers, and the Erwin Schrödingers. These are the founders, the fathers of quantum physicists. These are the brightest minds in history. What they found in their analysis is that there is only one substance that is appearing as many. So as we peer out into the world, they say that what you see is only one substance appearing as many objects. Now, this is a profound concept. And to help them understand what this means, that many of them found themselves in the East to justify their findings, because as you will see, the East has known this for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, where we in the West have just stumbled upon it in the last 100. So let these brilliant minds allow you to have the trust to bridge into the East. And what this means is that we're bridging our agitated minds into our hearts. We're bridging the finite into the infinite. And it gets profound and it becomes extremely awestruck. And you could say on the other side of this bridge is lasting peace and contentment and fulfillment. So I encourage you to watch this video, maybe even read the 5 steps that are listed here, and get really curious with this. And it's a promise, not only from me, but of the greatest minds and the most loving sages to ever walk this planet. Say, if you follow this, you will experience lasting peace and fulfillment. And I'm here with you every step of the way.
Hello and welcome. Today we're going to embark on a really profound quest together. It's a journey deep into a mystery, but here's the amazing part. Our guides are some of the most logical, brilliant minds in all of human history. We're going to follow a trail of clues they left for us, a path that leads to a place of real, lasting peace. And it's a destination pointed to by some pretty unexpected people. So let's dive in. So we're going to start with, of course, Albert Einstein. Isn't it fascinating? The father of modern cosmology, a man who gave his whole life to explaining the universe, he points us directly toward the unexplainable. He's saying that the mysterious isn't some problem to be solved or a thing to be feared, but that it's the very source, the wellspring of everything that's beautiful and true. That right there, that's our first big clue. And here's the thing. Einstein wasn't alone in this. Not by a long shot. As we're about to see, so many of the Nobel Prize-winning geniuses who literally built our modern understanding of reality, well, they all got to a point in their work where the math and the theories just stopped. And something else began. They all started pointing to the same deep, beautiful mystery. Our next clue comes from Max Planck, the father of quantum physics. And what he says here is it's so crucial. He's telling us that any attempt to find the ultimate answer out there in the world is basically guaranteed to fail. And why is that? Because we, the ones who are doing the searching, we're actually part of the very puzzle we're trying to figure out. You can't stand outside of it and look in. So, what does Planck's idea really mean for us, you and me, right now? Well, it gently shifts the entire direction of our search. The big quest to understand the universe, suddenly it turns inward. It becomes a quest to understand ourselves. The path forward, it seems, isn't an external one at all. It's an internal one. And that, of course, leads to the big question, doesn't it? If the greatest scientific minds are telling us that science itself has limits, do they just leave us hanging there? No, not at all. They actually pointed the way forward. They built a bridge for us. And where that bridge leads is made incredibly clear by Erwin Schrödinger. I mean, this is one of the architects of quantum mechanics, and he's so direct about it. He says the solution lies in the ancient wisdom of the Upanishads, which are India's most revered spiritual texts. What an absolutely monumental statement from a giant of Western science. And this idea gets reinforced by another giant, the physicist David Bohm. He basically confirms it, saying that, yeah, the East was right. They were right to see this immeasurable mystery not as something on the edge of reality, but as its primary, most fundamental nature. All the clues are pointing in the very same direction. So you see what's happening here? These incredible thinkers didn't just have some passing interest in philosophy. No, they forged a deliberate path for us to follow. They built a bridge with their own deep inquiry, a bridge that leads from the structured, logical world of Western science straight to the profound and freeing knowledge of the East. Now, let's be honest and just be compassionate with ourselves here. Crossing this bridge, it isn't always easy. For so many of us who were raised with a Western way of thinking, this can feel like a huge, almost counterintuitive leap. And you know what? That is perfectly okay. That challenge, that feeling, it's part of the journey. The great psychologist Carl Jung, he really puts his finger on why this is so challenging. He uses this word incommensurable. It basically means they can't be measured by the same ruler. They aren't just different opinions about reality, they are two fundamentally different operating systems for perceiving reality. And this next slide lays out that core difference perfectly. The Western mind, right? It's trained to find safety and sanity in what we can know, in what's logical, what makes sense. But this Eastern wisdom that our scientific geniuses were pointing to, it suggests that true peace is found by embracing the very opposite, the unknowable, the nonsensical, the mystery itself. So, the crucial point here is that this isn't about abandoning logic or reason. Not at all. It's about having the courage to expand our understanding, to embrace what feels like a paradox. It just asks for a willingness to accept that maybe, just maybe, our current view of how life works might be incomplete. So, what is this great revelation that's waiting for us on the other side of the bridge? Well, David Bohm gives us the heart of it right here. He says that reality, at its most fundamental level, is not a collection of separate things at all. It is a single, undivided whole. And the name for this understanding in the East is non-duality. It means exactly what it sounds like, not two. It's this profound recognition that the separation we see between things, you and me, this chair and that floor, even a thought and the thinker, it's an appearance. It's not the fundamental reality. Just let's sit with the implication of that for a moment. If reality is truly one single unified fabric, one single substance, then by definition, it is impossible for us to be separate from it. To be separate would mean there are two things, us and it, and the whole idea of not two would fall apart. David Bohm captures this so beautifully. This isn't just some abstract philosophical idea, it's a living, breathing reality. We are all intimately woven into the very fabric of existence, connected in ways we can't always see, but that are always, always there. So, we arrive at what feels like a paradox. But just look at how another Nobel laureate, Niels Bohr, saw paradoxes. He didn't see them as a problem to be fixed. He saw them as a wonderful sign. A paradox means we're on the edge of a breakthrough. It's a sign that we're finally making real progress. And this brings us to the beautiful paradox at the very heart of this journey, which we can really understand in 3 steps. First, that true sanity isn't found in knowing everything, but in being able to rest in the great unknown. Second, that all the incredible different things in the world all arise from one single unified source. And third, that the beauty and fulfillment we're all looking for is found not by explaining the mystery, but by living within it. You know, at the end of the day, this isn't just an intellectual exercise. The invitation from these great minds is to align our lives with this deeper, more fundamental truth of our interconnectedness. Because it's in that alignment that we find the unshakable contentment and peace that we've been looking for all along. And so we end right where we began, with a question. But this isn't a question for your mind, it's one for your heart. Having walked this incredible path that was laid out for us by these geniuses, are you courageous enough to take that final step? To experience for yourself the deep peace of this beautiful, mysterious, undivided reality, which is, in the end, your own true self?